Hello everybody, I'm Surti, and welcome back to Planet Crafter. If you haven't been here before, welcome. Yeah, we're going to go through everything that I've found in the latest update. Feel free to drop messages if you have any questions, and if you're enjoying this content, give us a subscribe. Okay, so as you can see, we have fish. The update is going to be called Fish and Drones. I had it as Drones and Fish because I feel like the drones are more valuable. But yeah, we have fish, and this is the aquarium tier 1. Hello Scott, how's it going? Is the quality okay? Is everything sounding good? I'm still new to this whole live streaming thing, so a bit neurotic about these things. Okay, so in this, we're going to go through all the new stuff. We're going to go through the drones. I will tell you where to get all the fish. Took a while, but I did manage to find them all. And yeah, all the little bits and pieces. There are a couple of things that I need to do. For example, I don't think I've launched the new rockets. So, yep, okay. So we'll sort out the rockets. There are a couple more rockets. Let's start with the basics. Something moved and it's under heat. The Mutagen 3 is no longer a blueprint unlock. You will find it under heat. I'm not exactly sure when it unlocks. Pardon me. So that's there, which means that in the stable release there will only be 3 more decoder chips required, and those will be for the 2 rockets and the tier 2 deconstruct chip. I have a drone hovering here. That's weird. Can I grab it? I can. Alright, so here's the drone port, and we'll get into drones. Oh, I have nothing for it to do. I'll have to come back to that. Right. So yeah, there's a couple of little issues that they still need to sort out before the stable release, which happens to come out on Tuesday. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. Monday or Tuesday next week. So very, very soon. One of the things that will change will be the names of the fish. So as you'll see on this wall, these are the fish. I've got them numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Not sure if there'll be any more, and I'm pretty sure they won't be called Fish 1, Fish 2, Fish 3. I'm kind of hoping that they do come up with some cool names like they've done with everything else. Right, where do we begin? Okay, let's get the fish out of the way. I really should be starting on the waterfall area. Okay, so you get fish farms, which look like this, and they can be located in your build menu, right down here. And then you also have the water life collectors. The water life collectors collect phytoplankton, but as you can see, they also pick up eggs. So in this big lake, in this whole area, in fact, you will be able to find fish 1 eggs. Right, so that's the one place you can find fish 1. You can also craft them. We'll shoot across it. Another one. Strange. I wonder if they've changed something with the drone ports, because I know the drone ports can only hold 25, but normally if they're not holding them, they kind of hover above the drone port. We'll see. Alright, so you would take your phytoplankton, A, B, or C. There's no C's in here. I've got a whole container full of C's over here. Your Mutagen tier 3. Hang on a second. Mutagen tier 3. Let me go down to the crafting station so you can see what the recipe is. Oh, wait, hang on. Can't build them in the crafting station. You know, it's been so long I've actually forgotten where to craft things. Right, it's here. Okay, so your mutagen tier 3 uses a bacteria, a nitrogen cartridge, and sulfur. Okay, I'm going to try not to jump around too much. We have nitrogen. Let's go and grab 4 of those. And it uses fertilizer tier 1. So let's do an A and a B and this 2 C's. All right, we'll just pop these into the incubators. And there has been this little thing going on with the incubators where they kind of, you hit the research button and they hang there for a bit. Maybe I can replicate it over here. Okay, we'll put the B into this one. Yeah, there we go. So it just kind of hangs and spins around. It's not really a big issue. I'm sure they'll sort it out. Just close it, go back in. Sometimes you have to do this more than once. And that's sequencing, and we'll throw that in there and sequence that. All right, so while those are all busy working, we can have a look at the recipes in here quickly. Okay, so eggs 1 and eggs 2. Now they don't show eggs 2 here, but eggs 1 and eggs 2 are both using phytoplankton A. So you can pick up the eggs 1, the fish eggs 1 in the main area lake, or you can make them. 3 and 4 are both here. As you can see, they use phytoplankton B. Both of those can be made so far only in the incubator. Then we got the 5s, which use recipe C, which is the phytoplankton C, and the 6, which uses mutagen tier 2 instead of mutagen tier 3. And it only makes 6, whatever the name might be. Okay, so that covers what can be made here, but there are 11 fish. So let's have a look at what we got here. Okay, so this was an 11. That was with an A. Interesting. Okay, so the 11s sort of pop up because I've picked them up in the C as well. There's a 7 here, which is also from A. Let me make a note of this. And surprise. Then those were both A's. This is the B, and we get fish eggs 3, which is to be expected. Now, when I say A, B, and C, I'm talking about the phytoplanktons. And then fish 5, which is the C, phytoplankton C. All right, so you've seen how that mechanic works, and we'll just pop these away. Now, if you, for example, if you're using the phytoplankton C recipe and you're getting a whole bunch of 5s and you really don't want them and you want to try and recover the materials and try again, then you can always bring them over to the recycler and recycle the eggs, and you'll get back your stuff and you can put it back into the incubator. So, right, I think let's go and have a look at the waterfall area, because this area has changed. Now, as I said in my last video, I did move my stuff out of the waterfall area in the old stable branch and then reopened the dev branch because I was there were things inside rocks. These rocks are new over here. My 2 living compartments were over here. Like literally this rock was directly in the middle of them. But there are a few little things that you should probably know about before you take on this area. These trees are here naturally. I'm not sure exactly when they evolved because I was quite far progressed in this playthrough, but these trees are not from my tree planters. There's this really cool little ramp here. I put these water life collectors all over the place to see if I could get... I will get back to them. If you go to the end, over here somewhere, is a cave. Now, I'm going to assume that there will be secrets and stuff in here at some point. Yeah. It's a little one, so maybe a good spot for a golden chest or something like that. Okay, so that's the one. And I didn't prepare very well with food. These mangroves. Alright. So in this area in front of the waterfall, we only get phytoplanktons. There's no eggs. And I've got another one over here. In this one, we actually get fish eggs 10, or fish 10 eggs. Okay, so in this area, just for some reason, just here. But if you go out there, then you don't get them. So something to note. Which means that you might have to be careful on placement in various areas. Now, if you follow this sandbar and you go through the waterfall, you get into another cave. Now, in my last video, I went in at night and you couldn't see anything. But yeah, it's quite a big cave. So another possible place for chests and whatnot. And yeah, this you can go no further. One other thing that you might want to know. Sorry, Gavin just joined. I see the fish eggs now have percentage. Yes, they do. They didn't have them when I first started. I think it was 7003 that they didn't have them. But they do now. So it also gives a massive boost to your animal score. Now, somewhere around here, if we look in the water, it's somewhat meaningless because you can't do anything with it. It's further around the back. Huh. Oh, there it is. I should have something to drink here. Hey Andrew, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. So there's this little ship. Looks to be in good nick, but yeah, it's nothing. It's some kind of a placeholder. I don't know if it's going to play into the story at all. Looks pretty cool though. Nice design. All right, let's get out of here. I've been to the top by crook. It's very difficult to get up there, but I don't like doing the whole spam F4 thing, but if you do that, you can get to the top. There are a couple of, what are those things called? Quartz, pulsar quartzes up there. Only 2. It's barely worth the effort. Ah, floating rocks. Alright, I think let's head off to the next area. Now, the secrets, the secret chests and everything will probably only come out with the final release, Andrew. Haven't seen any as yet. I've hunted around and there aren't any. Alright, was there anything in the crater? No, there wasn't. And I've had those water life collectors in the crater, and I've also had them in the mushroom cave, and I have found nothing. I've put them in every water source around the map, so pretty much covered everything, I think. And yeah, there was nothing in the crater or in the mushroom cave. However, if we go over to the zeolite cave. We get eggs, fish 7 eggs. Alright, so that's where you can find those. There was another. Let's head over to. Now, I'm kind of hoping you guys know where these areas are in the map. but they're not difficult to find once you get quite far. All right, the ring. Let's go to Eden Valley first. Okay, in Eden Valley, you also get the 9s, and this seems to be in this lake over here and around this side. So this is where you can pick up the 9s. Alright. They did away with the idea of the... Where am I going? Nighttime. I think I'll head back home quickly. The phytoplankton D. I'm not sure what they had planned for it, but I never saw one. So, the last patch note said that tier 4 phytoplankton is not coming out. So I accept that. And I need to get some food. While we are here, let's have a... Thanks, Gavin. Yeah, I get lost with these people. Now, you see this little placeholder? There's a drone over here with a food. That means that a drone has been allocated to bring some food over. Now, this is where the most powerful part of the game is. All my containers are named, and all of them demand what is essentially supposed to be in them. So it doesn't matter where on the map I'm sourcing material from. I just demand it in a container and supply it from wherever it is. Now, let's have a look at my little... it's so dark and the torch doesn't help, but let's have a look at my little plastic setup. Plastic needs honey. It needs sulfur. Wait, hang on. Was it? Yeah, sulfur, mushrooms, and silicon. So I've got a silicon mine here, which is fine because this is where they work. I've got a container pulling sulfur via drone from the sulfur area, from a mine in the sulfur area, and I've got mushrooms growing over here. So basically I've got this set over here to supply plastic, and that plastic, just if I take plastic out of my plastic storage, we should see a drone come shooting across here and fill it up. And let's turn that off. And my plastic's refilled. Now, this makes... I like compact builds. Especially in this where you kind of have to, especially initially, run around and do a lot of collecting and carry stuff to craft. You still have to do all of that stuff until you get to the autocrafters and the drones. Once you're there, your time is freed up, and I think that they're balancing this game out really nicely. It means that you're going to have a much smaller base. You won't need as much storage. You'll have all the storage fairly close together, which means that, things like my pulsar. I've got all the materials that I need to make pulsar in range of this. I've also got all the materials I need to make the circuit boards in this area. So I can go into here at any point and just tell it, okay, build circuit boards or build pulsar. But now with a smaller setup, everything will be closer together. I won't have 2 containers for each. I can just have one, and then I can have more autocrafters to make each thing that I need. Now, I've got full containers of everything. I think I might have taken a couple of circuit boards. Yeah, I did. But at the moment, I have to kind of balance that, and when I need, I go and I autocraft. But if I have a smaller area to build these things in, bear in mind, I think I said it was 5 blocks, but it's not. It's about 3.5 blocks range on these crafters. If you can have everything in that 3.5 block range, you can craft anything from the materials in that range, which is pretty nifty. If I shoot out, I'll give a visual representation of that, and I should probably take an iron with me just to show you. And I'm probably not going to find one, am I? No. But okay, so here's this storage crate, And I have another one up at the top. All right. So there's another one up here. And if I go into this auto crafter, you can see that there are 2 storage crates in range. Now this one, okay, this is on the middle of a block, 1, 2, 3 and a bit. Now if I take this one, I don't really want to break that down, man. Give me an iron. Any iron? Nothing, eh? Alright, but yeah, the thing is, if I put another container right next to this, it's not detected. So this is the maximum range, which means that if you have a storage area that is 1, 2, let's just say 4 tiles wide and 4 tiles long, you could have a few of these in the middle and be able to easily craft whatever you want from that. But basically at the moment, I think the pulsar and the circuit boards are the only 2 things that I am crafting, going in and changing. Everything else is completely automated. This plastic build is probably the best to illustrate that. But then you have the whole production chain of all the organic stuff. So you got the fertilizer 1, which is pulling. Okay, this is something that people have been a bit confused about, but the algae generators, you can't select them, so you can't tell it to, you click on it and you can't tell it to supply. But the autocrafters pull resources out of the water, which is cool. So doing your bacteria and your fertilizer 1 is a cinch, because it's all sorted for you. If you build above it like this, obviously that 3.5 block range on the autocrafter is a big sphere. So yeah, so this pulls water from the water extractors that I've got down the bottom, and also the algae generators to make the bacteria and the fertilizer 1. Fertilizer 2, can't remember what it needs, but it might need sulfur and squash, which I have in range. So this is getting built. On the other side, the bacteria, water and algae, this uses eggplant and gosh, I have no idea, but yeah, something, I think it might be methane, which is in range, because we have the gas extractors here, which now also produce nitrogen, which is needed when you get to the tier 3. Sorry, this is the tier 2 mutagen, and then I've got a tier 3. The tier 3 doesn't use tier 2, it uses bacteria, which is over there, and sulfur, whatever it uses, it's all here. Everything is within range. So this could be a standalone spot that I won't need to have next to my base anymore. I could have it anywhere. I could stick it in the middle of the lake, and everything would just be delivered to my storage containers in my base, so that I could go and pull them out. And once you get to a level where everything is that automated, it just makes your life easier when you want to focus on getting your terraforming score up, because everything that you need, for example, if you need to go and make a miner or something, you go and grab the materials out for 2 or 3 or 4 miners, drills or heaters, and you go and travel around the map, put them in. By the time you get back, your containers are full again, and you just carry on doing it, instead of having to go and empty ore extractors and whatnot. Okay, so that, I think, covers the drones, unless actually, Gavin, yes, I do. Yeah, I don't like to tell people about it though. Not here. Yeah. Anyway, so your why is it called autocrafter? The drone station has 25 slots. At the moment I have 27. Now I'm not using them, so these empty out when they go and collect things, when they go and collect materials. So I could probably slot these two in, and then when everyone comes back, they're normally floating above. But I think that little glitch when I restarted the game had them sitting elsewhere. I'm not sure if they would have activated if I'd used the drones. Right. Food is being processed over here because you need beans and honey. I have a container inside that takes the bees. Now the tier 2 beehives produce bee larvae, which eventually could choke the whole system up. So this is something that can't really be automated at the moment. So I've got the bee larvae coming to their own container, and if that gets full, I can always just empty it out and go and recycle them or something. And we're going to have an event. Sweet. Yeah, so like I said, everything is automated. And when the stable release does come out, the auto miners, which you can now pretty much mine whatever you want, wherever you want, will not work like that anymore. So these tier 3 miners, or extractors, sorry, you can set whatever you want. Oh, wait, hang on, they've changed it. It's already been implemented. Is that right? Interesting. And it looks like you can still get sulfur. This is my little power plant. I have lots of power. Lots. It's very important. And I've had quite a few pulsar meteors come through. So that's been nice. So this area... See, oh, you can. Okay, so maybe sulfur is available everywhere, but now iridium is only available in this area. That's pretty cool. So in this area, I'm mining iridium. I'm sending some of it back to a container at the base. I'm making the iridium rods in this. I'm also making what the heck is that stuff called? Explosive powder, because that uses sulfur and iridium. And I have a container over here that I haven't named, but that's demanding sulfur. And I lost my way or what? I have too far. Now if we're going to the sulfur area, oh, that's back. There's not much happening here. I have my sulfur extractors, and basically all of them are set to supply. I'm not really doing anything else with these over here. If we go over to the super alloy cave, just so that you have some direction, I'm above that's the base area on that side. The iridium cave is here, the wreck in the desert. And yeah, okay, so all of these are extracting super alloy. I have 2 of them making super alloy rods, which need aluminium, so I have aluminium being demanded by a container over here, and I've got my aluminium extractors in the aluminium area mining aluminium. It's as easy as that, really. So yeah, back to, I'm jumping around a bit. Back to the eggs. We haven't been yet. I haven't been to the ring. Okay, now the ring and the canyon's a bit weird, but yeah, you get, oh wait, hang on, that's not the right one. There we go. So here you get the eggs 8. Strangely, the pothole type areas, pothole lakes over on this side also give you the 8. I'm not going to go all the way over there, just so that you know that they are there. And then the canyon, I think I picked up 2 different types down there. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't make a note of it, but I think I picked up 2 different eggs, and I wasn't far into the canyon area either. 8. I think I picked up a 7 in this area as well. I could be wrong, so but I'm almost convinced I picked up a 7 over here. Okay, so I've been to kind of everywhere that I've found eggs. The rest of them you can make. So eggs 1, you use the phytoplankton A recipe or in the main lake area. Eggs 2, phytoplankton A recipe. 3 and 4, phytoplankton B recipe. Where am I going? I need to get back to this container. 6, egg 6, you need the phytoplankton C but with the mutagen tier 2. The 7s, Canyon, Zeolite Caves, and you can also get them with recipe A, as we just found out. Recipe number 8, eggs 8, you can use recipe B. You can get them with recipe phytoplankton B. You can find them in the ring area and in the canyon. Eggs 9 in Eden Valley, which is, well, you know Eden Valley. That's this really beautiful little valley with the uranium in those rocks. And you can also, for number 9, use the recipe with phytoplankton C. Number 10, you find in the waterfall area, just in that little pond on the inside. And also using recipe C, you can get them. And then 11, recipe C, and apparently recipe A as well. Yeah, it's rare because I must say I put loads and loads of that phytoplankton C recipe into those incubators, and this was the first time I saw the number 11 come out of that side. So yeah, rare but cool. Okay, main base, let's build some rockets and see what those do. That's my food situation. And yeah, I'm pulling a bit of ADHD here, but it is kind of cool. So it takes 3 eggs, and as you can see, the multipliers, I'll go through the multipliers of all of them. This is a 350, this is a 270, and this is a 500. This is eggs 11. It's huge. So if you can find those, bonus. And yeah, it's a nice spot to, if you build another base, I suppose you could have it sitting in the middle of the base or something. It's very, very pretty with algae plants and stuff. I have to say they've done a really good job with the fish. I've got a few down here, and it's just very cool to see how the world actually changes and transforms, and now you have life. I mean, we don't have amphibians yet. I don't know if they'll ever go to mammals, but it is nice to see, you know, with the butterflies and the bees, and now with the fish, there's actually movement and life. Very, very cool. Well done. So, yeah, back to the rockets. Okay, so we have GPS satellite T4, compass microchip, right, and then the drone visibility rocket. Okay, so 3 super alloy rods, 4, okay. Two of those super alloy rods, 3 of those, and Jesus, you know, I always forget something. The microchip, silicon, magnesium, and aluminium. Magnesium, silicon, and a couple of aluminium. Too much. Compass. Okay. I don't feel like I'm missing stuff. Oh, yes, of course. Circuit boards. I can't remember how many I need. Take one more just in case. Okay, so the Tier 3 GPS rocket allows you to zoom out, but you don't get to see the whole map. But I believe Tier 4 allows you to zoom out even further. And this is quite a sweet looking rocket. I'll get it out of the way. I won't do my normal 100 rocket pylon. And the drone visibility rocket. Alright, cool. So I think the drone visibility rocket just allows you to see your drones on the map. It doesn't add anything crazy. Nice. Okay, alright, so this is what you could see with the Tier 3 GPS satellite. Yeah, you can see I've got some movement. Oh yes, these guys are going and fetching stuff. That's cool. So Tier 4 gives you a much wider view. And obviously you can scroll up and down, but you can see there's potential places for new biomes, maybe out this area or down here. And yeah, there's the drones, so we can actually see what's going on. You could have more drones. I don't see it as being necessary because they do end up sitting around a fair bit. Hi, Miss Stella, how's it going? How can they animate all this at once? I have no idea. Very clever people. Yeah, these are probably just they are copies. They are instances of a class, and it's basically just one object that they're loading, and then there's just lots of instances running at different speeds, random locations. It is. This game is very addictive. It's huge fun. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. I mean, I've played Satisfactory for about 2,000 hours. I find Satisfactory is just it's a little bit too long. I mean, it's a lifetime project. This feels like it's going to have an ending. The story is pretty cool, and I have my own theories about the story and where things are going to go with it. I do have a feeling that the humans have been wiped out, and I might be a human that was a prisoner on Earth that was taken over by these people who pretended to be humans but were warmongers, which seems strange because humans aren't exactly the most peaceful people. But we won't get into politics. Yeah. Perhaps that machine will get switched on and we'll squeeze some more people and we'll find some people. I don't know. But there's an interesting story and there looks to be an end to it. And I mean, at this stage, you've probably got, at a chilled pace, maybe 80 hours of gameplay, maybe less. But the nice thing is you get rewards along the way as the landscape changes, and this becomes a lush lake, and you can put plants and flowers and stuff. It's really, really a good game. How do you manage to get that done upside down? Oh yes, sorry. That dome isn't upside down. It's actually a dome. This is the aquarium tier 2. So that's what it looks like. And yeah, I had to kind of figure out the perfect location for it because you can't build it into the ground. It doesn't seem that you can build it into the water either. I did try and place it in a few different places and it didn't work so well. Stella, you're a little bit behind there. gosh, I don't know. I think I'm on about 300 odd hours. But this is probably my third or fourth playthrough. But I'm going to stick with this one for a while. This new update doesn't really need me to do a full playthrough again. I'll see what happens with the next update. I wonder if I've got space to squeeze this drone in here yet. No, I don't, because he's sitting up there. Just don't get confused with this. This container can demand and supply various things. Yeah, don't get consumed with putting materials in here. Save it for your drones. I don't know if it makes a difference, but yeah, if there is a glitch when you restart and your drones get stuck in places, maybe it is nice for them to have a home. But at this stage, I haven't seen a reason to get more than one drone station. Yeah, and Gavin, just so that you can see, this is what the aquarium tier 2 looks like on the inside. It takes three fish eggs and looks really nice. Just another spot to make your base look cool. Oh, I know that sound. I don't even have place. Where's it going to land? Alright, I'm not going to go and collect this immediately, but yeah, that's a pulsar quartz. And they usually have like between 7 and 10 crystals, so alright, close by. But it takes a while for those rocks to despawn, and yeah, a lot of the quartz is hidden underneath those rocks. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, I wanted to have a look at all the percentages of the various fish eggs. So I'm assuming that these fish will get cool names. But right now, fish 10 is fish 10 with a multiplier of 400. 11 has a multiplier of 500. 1 is the worst with a multiplier of 100, but that's cool. 2 is 150. 3 is 150. 4 is 200. 5 is 250. 6 is 270. 7 is 300. 8, 325. 9, 350. Yeah. So the higher the number, but yeah, they won't be numbered after this. I think this is just for development purposes. They're probably still trying to figure out cool names like they have for the butterflies and the trees. Yeah, speaking of which, I could probably put some tree planters back in the waterfall area now. I think I'll just wait until the stable release comes before I start putting more heaters, drills, basically the terraforming stuff. This is the aquarium tier 1, for anyone who hasn't seen it. This takes 2 eggs. And you can have obviously 2 different eggs. I've just got 1 in there. Got another one down here. Yeah. So if you guys haven't seen my base or haven't seen any of my videos before, I've set this up with my main storage over here, which will become much smaller in the next playthrough that I do, because I'm only going to need 1 container of each item. Right now I've got 2 containers of most things. I've got my little recycle and destroy area at the door. Down this end I've got my genetics lab. This is where I've got all my stuff for plants, trees, food seeds, and the incubators for the butterflies and fish. The biolabs and biostorage up in this area. I make my silk over there. I've got common lava is something that you can't get your drones to collect. I've got honey up here because I think I was making food up here at some point. So all my silk, and right now I've got this, which I'm not really using unless I do something that I'm not already automating. Everything here, I think everything here, yep, this is all automated. Yeah, I had iridium coming in here because yeah, I didn't feel like going and collecting the explosive powder, so yeah, I was making it in here, but now I don't need that. I won't need any, well, I will initially before I get the autocrafters and drones. I'll need algae storage. But yeah, maybe in the next playthrough I'll probably do 3 iterations or something. Okay, Land of Horns, how's it? Welcome to the stream. You only had fish 6? Well, they're all around, so you'll be able to find them. Yeah, you may have to play back the video a little bit. I've listed the locations. If you're looking for 7, you'll find them in the Zeolite Cave. In the, if you use the water life collectors in the water in the Zeolite Cave or in the canyon, you'll get 7s. You can make 8s with the phytoplankton bee, but you can also find them in the ring area and sometimes in the canyon, or most of the time in the canyon. 9s you can find in the Eden Valley, but you can also make them with phytoplankton C with the mutagen tier 3. The 10s you can make with recipe with the phytoplankton C and tier 3, and then the 11s, apparently you can use the phytoplankton A recipe with and the phytoplankton C recipe. They tend to come up. I hope that helps. Oh, nice one, Gavin. Yeah, it's important that I got such a fright when I teleported myself into that waterfall area. All right, carrying on going through. Something going to happen? Are they going to raise the water? Well, it depends on how far you are into the game. The water level rises to a point and then it stops rising. So yeah, this is basically as high as the water level rises. So yeah, by about when you start your first base is most likely, if you start in the default location, your base will start off down in the bottom in the middle of this lake. What I did was I moved my base once the water started appearing to somewhere down in that area. I can't remember why, not important, but it was over here because I wanted quick access to the iridium and sulfur. And this is a nice central area because you got the aluminium over on that side, which is pretty important. So this was my 3rd base, and I ripped the other 2 down before I built this. Yeah, no, it's the water is, as far as I understand, it's not going to rise any higher than this. Yeah, unlike your oxygen levels, which I'm still low, but in my first playthrough, I think I'm on close to 100 TTI, and by that point, I think most of humanity would have died of oxygen poisoning. Anyway, back to where we were. This is the other entrance to the genetics lab, and then out this door, I have my little farming area. This is to provide whatever, not for food anymore, because I'm using the super high quality food from the beans and honey. All right. Then if we head through this way, this is my little command center, nice seating arrangements. There's been a lot of people that have asked, how do you put these down? Because if you just if you drop them, you can't position them properly. So if I stand on the table and I go in here and I drop it, it doesn't work. No, you don't drop it. You actually, when you're in here, you right click it and then you can place it. Now this doesn't happen with everything. It only happens with these as far as I can tell. So you can put little decorations around. I mean, I found so many. I think I found all of the golden crates in the game. So I've got stuff over here. I've got stuff in my living quarters, which got a little lounge here. My living quarters, empty container, my bed. And I've kind of got it so that I can eventually maybe expand out or up if I need to accommodate other people if they decide to go multiplayer. But yeah, this is my little base layout, which I can make more compact if I put more thought into it. But it is kind of nice to have a little bit of space, but everything is still close enough by that you don't have to run around all over the place trying to find what you need. And I do have a recipe for setting up my containers. They are usually in a specific order. This first block is all the kind of basic stuff: iron, silicon, cobalt, titanium, magnesium, and aluminium over here. And then a little bit more advanced, the iridium, uranium, sulfur, osmium, zeolite. And then when we come around on this side, then it gets a little bit more of the complicated stuff, your super alloys, the iridium and uranium rods, plastics, super alloy rods, pulsars, and then I've got, this is kind of where I went off the rails and just sort of started putting everything in, because that's when things started getting introduced to the game. So rocket engines, I've got the fabric, which we haven't got a lot of use for at the moment, so it's just sitting there. The osmium rods, circuit boards, nitrogen, methane. And the nitrogen and methane are only really down here because we need them for making certain things, like the circuit boards, I think. And yeah, that's about the base. So where haven't we been yet? I think the uranium, it's nothing to write home about. The aluminium area, also nothing really to write home about. I've just got 2 aluminium ore extractors, and they send stuff back to the main base. The Volnus plant, I haven't seen it. I'm not sure what they'll do in the stable release, because there's a lot of stuff missing. Yeah, Gavin, I wouldn't like to match. I think once it goes over 100,000 ppm, then people start getting terrible sicknesses. The crater, I haven't really done much in the crater. I've got a tree thingy there and a tree thing there, and I've got some trees growing up at the top. There's some heaters and drills around the top of the crater, but nothing major. There's one thing that I haven't shown you guys, which I'll show you now, but I don't know if I can, because the crater's got fish 7. Well, that's interesting. I didn't see those before. So there's another thing to bear in mind. And this is kind of on the, what is it, the southeast side of the island, if that makes any difference. But yeah, I could do a lot more with this area. I'm just not sure, because trees don't grow on the steep banks. And where else can we go? We've been to the kind of ring area. Oh, Paradise Lost. This was the area that was opened up in the law and automation update. I have emptied this about 20 times and there has been nothing. So don't bother putting a life water collector in this area. In fact, I should probably just get rid of it. But hey. The iridium we've been to. Osmium we haven't been to, but I don't think there's a heck of a lot there. Yeah, if I was to do, I am making the osmium rods out here as well. What I've done is I've taken a couple and set them to supply so that I can keep my osmium storage at the base full. And then I think it may be just one of them. And then the rest of them all feed into this to give us the osmium rods. And then the osmium rods are set to supply, and that fills up my container. But the thing I wanted to actually show you, and we'll go from the super alloy. I said that we unlocked this microchip deconstruction tier 2. That's something that you need to unlock as soon as you can, because without causing yourself too many problems. Oh, I need food. You can get electronic, the CPU components, CPU boards, whatever they call them. Now, I've already collected. They are available in all the wrecks. They are not available in the underground bunkers as far as I can tell. They look like this, but these ones you can't deconstruct because they seem to be part of the scenery. But this is what the servers look like, and for each one of these that you deconstruct, you get a CPU board. So I didn't have to actually make CPU boards for a long time. Now, as you can see, I haven't gone crazy with this playthrough. It's been slow and steady. Got lots of power, so I can build more heaters and drills and stuff if I want to. But I wanted to take this one slowly just so that I could keep up with the updates. And I've been overtaken a little, but there are places that you will need to look for things like the unlocking of the eggs. So there's kind of no point in putting up the life water collectors or the fish farms if you haven't unlocked the eggs, which if we go into the biomass, the eggs come after drill tier 5, which is pretty late, but yeah, I think that's probably fair enough because you'll need to have a fairly good environment to make the eggs. And then your first eggs come out. After that, you unlock the later eggs. I'm not sure what the unlocks are with all the other eggs, but it only shows these 4, so I'm not sure when the others are unlocked. And then, of course, you got your fish display, which you've seen. Mine, the fish farm, is the last thing that comes out, and by then you should already have some eggs stored up. So that's something that you need to watch out for. Just under the terraformation, after the so after you've unlocked the fusion energy cell, the drone station will become available. Then the aquarium 1 circuit boards and quartz. Under heat, you'll probably get this first. This will be the mutagen tier 3, but that'll allow you to actually get some eggs before you get all the other stuff. And I don't think there's anything down here. No. So yeah, so those are the things that you need to watch out for. I'm not entirely sure when you get the tier 2 deconstruct chip. And to date, I haven't been brave enough to. Well, I have. I did one playthrough on hardcore, but you really have to concentrate. If you want a relaxing time and not have to worry too much about losing your game, just play on the normal difficulty. You may die. Chances are you'll be able to recover your stuff. And it makes for a nice chilled game experience. I like the normal mode, although, the hardcore, if you die once, you're dead. Your game's over. And they don't have autosave, so you can't recover yourself. And if you have ADHD and you get sidetracked a lot, playing on hardcore becomes a little bit difficult because you just die. I played a couple of times on hardcore, and only once was I successful because I was actually concentrating because I had died recently before that. All right. Anything else you guys like to know? I could take you to my... This area is just all the basic stuff, but apparently now I can mine sulfur. I'm not sure if that's going to change. Maybe, maybe not. I've just got a simple platform here with all these fusion energy, whatever they are, power stations. I've got a few legacy nuclear uranium power plants. I've got quite a few legacy drills and stuff in here, but not too many. They don't really, I could probably delete them and they wouldn't really impact things too much. But you could, play the game the way you like. If you want to build a massive base where you have to climb a tower, go for it. And the game allows you to do that. This is how I like it. Nice and chilled. And right now, instead of running around, I could be pushing up terraforming by going out and building stuff. It just, with the automation the way it is now, it just makes things so much easier. Yes, Gavin, the golden lava, pretty good, yeah. Pulsar Court moved back to the unlocks. The Pulsar Quartz, I can't remember. Yes, you probably will if you're... I can't remember how large you have to, or how high you have to get your terraformation index to unlock the Pulsar, but you can still get them. I mean, there's plenty of Pulsars lying around in caves, and you also get the occasional Pulsar asteroid that falls down, which you get quite a few from. So I wouldn't stress too much. It's also similar to the CPU boards, which is a very strange name, CPU board. Have I got that right? Circuit board. Good grief. Where did I get that CPU board from? Anyway, oh, you know what? I've been playing a game called Commonhood, and I think they've got CPU boards. Anyway, so yeah, you can. This game is very forgiving. You can get stuff when you need it. It is around. So the circuit boards, there are plenty of them in the Rex, and you will visit the Rex now more than once because there's going to be servers, and you can't break those servers down until you got the tier 2 deconstruct chip. A more message from Sentinel. Yeah, I'm sure that those will come in a future release. Just bear in mind that they're only planning a full release at the end of next year. Yeah, so they're obviously planning to put a lot back into the game, or a lot into the story, into the game, into what you're aiming for. At some point, they're going to have to limit these. They're going to have to cap them, and then maybe you can break stuff down, and you just need a few to maintain. And yeah, because it would be very unrealistic to have 2 million ppm. More than 1 million ppm. ppm stands for parts per million. You would not have more than 1 million parts per million. So I've seen people that have gone beyond that, which it's just illogical. Heat. This might change a little bit because I think we are at... Oh, okay. Now it's one of the things that confuses me. This is 1.98 megatons of biomass, and this is 814 millikelvin. So I haven't even reached 1 Kelvin, so I'm still at 250 something degrees below 0 Celsius. So yeah, that might have to change to be a little more realistic. Pressure, you're probably also looking at about 100,000 pascals, so 100 kilopascals to reach what Earth is. Yeah, things will get rebalanced and changed around. They'll try and make it, but it is a game, so you can't take these things too seriously. But I would like to see the mega being a capital, the kilo as well, even just because that's the right thing to do. See, biomass, here's the capital, megatons, but that M should be a capital. Otherwise, it's milli. And milli, for anyone who's not familiar with the metric system, is 1,000th of a Kelvin, or like a milliliter would be 1,000th of a liter. So 1,000 milliliters in a liter, so on. All right. I wonder what the end game is. I saw on YouTube who was wondering that the end game may be to escape using the Warden's massive spaceship. I'm not at all bothered about that. Yeah, I'm not sure. The backstory at the moment seems to be that some aliens arrived at Earth and they claimed to be humans, but they were very violent and not very nice people in the end. So the humans fled Earth and they stopped here. And then to stop those guys from coming here to this planet, they built that big orb that sucks in ships and blocks communication or whatever it does. So I'm thinking that I am either one of those aliens that's been sent here to serve out my sentence and terraform this place, because they've detected now that you can get through that orb to a degree. I'm not entirely sure, unless there were remnants of the humans that sort of came in, and I don't know. But maybe I'm a prisoner because I'm a human, and it's yeah, you can speculate a lot. We'll see what they come up with in the end. Okay, to be honest, there isn't much more to discuss. If I could lie down on this couch and watch TV, probably would. Any questions, chaps and ladies? Wow, this is going to be a short live stream. Yeah, I'll probably do a video compressing this information into a shorter video. But for now, this gets you prepared. And a lot of people who aren't keen on playing on the dev branch won't know what's going on with the waterfall area. And I think there's going to be a lot of complaints there, because I love the trees inside. The waterfall area is going to be a big hindrance. It caught me by surprise. And as you can see, I mean, I'm only on 9.12 TTI. So all of these new rocks caused problems. I think I had a heater and a drill inside these rocks. So I had to go back and roll back to the old version, roll back to a previous save that I'd backed up, get rid of all the stuff, and then I moved it out. I moved it all over the place. Yeah. But yeah, the two caves in this biome are going to be pretty cool. Just to make sure, let's have one look at the mushroom cave again. I'm going to start planting those funny mushroom looking trees that we've got, the high yield ones, in the mushroom cave, because they don't really look good above the ground. Or maybe I'll put them in they look similar to these, in fact. Oh, you know what? I moved this one over here. Yeah. No, still nothing. So I haven't got any eggs out of the mushroom cave. Just so that you know. Where's the opening? But you still do get those glowing pink butterfly larvae, which are quite cool in there. I do assume a lot about the people knowing where certain areas are. So if you have any worries, not sure where areas are, yeah, maybe I'll do another playthrough. Well, I think maybe I'll start a new playthrough, but not in this update. Maybe in a few months before the next update. So I'm not sure. But yeah, as you can see, I'm at the point where I've pretty much got everything. I don't have a massive terraforming index. It's big, but I did it with minimal equipment. I've got 22 hold, those are the tier 4 drills. The tier 5 drills have got 17, tier 5 heaters 14. So I don't have a lot of stuff. So I've taken this playthrough very slow and steady. Got a lot of available power. Yeah, you can take this as chilled as you like. You can go ape. I've done a speed run to get to the 175, and that took, I think I got it done in about 40 minutes. So yeah, you can go crazy. I kind of half speed ran the beginning of this playthrough without using cheats and dying and coming back, and I did that in maybe an hour and a half. Yeah, what the guys do is they would speed run this by going out into the area, picking up resources and building stuff as they go, and when they eventually die, just before they die, they save the game, and when they reload the game, they come back with a little bit of the food, water, and oxygen, so they can carry on going. And it doesn't appeal to me. It feels a little bit cheaty. So yeah, you can speed run up to Blue Sky in about an hour and a half without cheating. But I think, guys, this is only an hour and a quarter. Show your plastic farm. Oh, okay. Andrew, happy to. Okay, so this is my little plastic farm. I've got the 2 mushroom outdoor farms here. I have a silicon extractor and I've got a sulfur container. The sulfur container demands sulfur from the sulfur extractors in the sulfur area. This is supplying silicon. Actually, you know what? Because it's dedicated to this, I haven't set it to supply anything. So the auto crafter over here is just pulling the mushrooms, the silicon. Why did I have sulfur? Okay, so I didn't need the sulfur. That's strange. It must be something that I'd left behind. I had a sulfur extractor in the area, but okay. So basically, water, I must have a water extractor close by. Right there. So that's the water extractor that's feeding this auto extractor water, mushrooms and silicon, and that's giving me my plastic. Happy with that explanation? So yeah, wherever you build your plastic farm, your plastic manufacturing plant, you need to be near water. What is that feedback coming through on my mic? I got my ceiling fan on because it's pretty warm here. But it's like there's something strange coming through on my microphone. Oh, I'm gonna die! Oh well, at least it wasn't too far away. See, that's what happens when you get distracted. Okay, I was trying to remember why I had sulfur here. I can't remember. Yeah, Gavin, it happens, but it's when you're on chill mode, it's not that much of a stress, especially when you get to this point where you're working everything from a central point. You're not running around. But like as you progress through the game, it gets easier. And I think that adds a sort of touch of realism, because at the beginning, it's really difficult. You're going and picking up stuff by hand, and you're running around and you're building small things that aren't doing much. Pardon me. And as you progress, things get easier. You get ore extractors that help you get your iron and your titanium and your magnesium. But they're not really that good. They pull out all sorts of stuff, which is fun because you kind of need that stuff at that stage. And then here you're able to craft more things to make your life even easier. Then you increase the terraforming index more and more, and you get more stuff until you get to a point like this. Wait. Are you guys hearing? Oh, there it is. See, another... And this is in one playthrough, so like within an hour, I've had 2 of these pulsar quartz things. It doesn't always happen like that. I'm quite surprised I haven't had any others. Normally I'm just peppered with meteors, so this load has been pretty good. In fact, I do wonder, because I didn't go and fetch those other pulsars, whether they're still here. Ah, I left them for a long time, and look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, come on. 9. I assume that fell in the water somewhere. Okay. Normally more, but yeah, this is kind of average. 9 of them. It's nice that they were all fairly close together. Sometimes they aren't because, you know, landscapes, things do roll down the landscapes. Nothing on this side of the rock, nothing on that side of the rock. So yeah, that's not a bad haul. And let me show you what I mean. Now this one's just crashed. They're easy to find because there's big rocks. So this one landed over here. You do get to know the map a bit better. So did it land outside the water? Where are all of the... Wow. Okay. Alright, well there's one. But yeah, you do have to wait. Sometimes it does take a little while for everything to clear. But it does seem that these don't despawn, the quartz crystals themselves don't despawn very quickly. Not like the super alloys. When you have a super alloy storm, you've got to actually start collecting while the storm is still happening. Otherwise you don't get that much. I see the iridium and the uranium, especially early game when you launch the rockets and you get those storms. It's pretty useful. Those last quite a while. The pulsars also last quite a while, but you do have to wait a fair bit for the rocks to despawn so you can get to all of them. There's another one over there. Yeah, got that. Another one over here. No, got it. Okay, I'm not going to stress out too much. Got too much of this stuff as it is. Right, well, that's 2.5 containers full. Any other questions, guys and ladies? Or should I just refer to everyone as chat? Like some other people do. I find that it's very impersonal. But yeah, okay, so automation to the next level, like real automation now. You don't have to fill up your own containers anymore. You don't have to run around collecting things from various mines. You have drones for that, and you can grow your drone army as things go. Nighttime's pretty nice. Look at that. I wonder what it looked like. Ah, yes. Yeah, so if you have any questions, I think I have a contact form on my website, but I have a Discord. Link's not in the description, but it is in my channel. If you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate it. I don't think there's anything more to say in this one. There will be a video coming out after the stable release. I may actually even do a live stream on that day. just to kind of reiterate what I've gone through here and see what's changed, including the fish names. And, you know, they normally drop a couple of surprises in. Maybe a couple of golden crates in the new areas. We'll see. But other than that, yeah, I appreciate you guys joining me, and thanks for your support. Join me on Discord. We can chat about this and other games. And until next time, cheers.